be a public meeting. And we'll call this meeting to an order at 2:02 p.m. And we'll start off with our quick introductions. My name is Edith Rojas, and I'm your student body president.
My name is Kane Lemasters, and I'm the executive vice president.
My name is Bailey Kinker, and I'm your vice president for clubs and organizations.
My name is Claire Ann Greppo. I am your vice president for academic affairs.
And my name is Maurice Watkins III, pronouns he, him, his are my name, and I'm the Vice President for Equity and Community Services.
And I'm Jocelyn Matheny, the VP for Student Life and Facilities.
And Leah, our VP for Legislative Affairs, is currently absent. So with that, we'll go on to the adoption of the previous minutes from the last meeting. So VPs, all of you have the previous minutes from last week. Are there any errors, or are we ready to approve this? Good. Well, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the previous minutes from September 24th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? 500. Sweet. And with that, now for the approval of today's agenda. Take a quick second to look at that.
I would like to make an addition to 5.3, talking about Faculty Senate.
Any further additions or corrections to the agenda? I'd like to entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? All right, we're ready to do this agenda. And to kick off our officer reports, we have our Executive Vice President, Kayla Masters.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. So the past week has been filled with a lot of committee applicants, so most of my stuff is going to be later. We have hired a lot of office staff. Grace is here taking our minutes somewhere over there. Hi, Grace. So we are getting to having our full office, so come in, say hi, meet our staff. They're very friendly and can help you with pretty much anything if you need it. Committee of the Week. Edith proposed this to me. We're going to start doing a Committee of the Week, just talking about a committee. This week is Council of Probity. For those of you that don't know, the Council of Probity is like the judicial branch of our student government. They handle anything that has to do with disputes that happens within ASCWU and its subsidiary bodies. So if you are interested in that, apply to it through the committees page. It's super easy, super quick, and we like having people on there. If you have any other questions, come ask us. And then SNA committee, all after today will be all full, but one spot. So there's 9 students on the committee. I have 8 that will be appointed by the end of today, hopefully, pending this vote. So that's really exciting. SNA committee is super important. If you know anybody that wants to serve on it or you want to serve on it, please apply because we have one more spot open. Other than that, a lot of the other committees are open. Library Advisory Council has been looking for a lot of students, or not a lot, but a couple for their council because they want students to serve on that. So if you have any questions about committees, always feel free to come ask me or come see me. And yeah, thanks, y'all. And with that, I yield my time.
Sweet. Thank you, Kane. And now for our VP of Clubs and Organizations, Bailey Kinker.
Hi, everyone. My name's Bailey again. Bear with me. I'm a little sick right now, so I sound funky, and my brain's not completely there. But we had our first Club Senate meeting last week. It went really well. We had really high attendance for our first meeting, and we discussed some of our goals for this year. And we discussed some things we're going to be talking about later on in this meeting. We presented a new funding model to Club Senate as well, and everyone seemed to be really excited about that. Another thing we have coming up is on October 10th, 10/10, is going to be the club fair, which it doesn't really have a theme, but we're 10 out of 10 would recommend joining a club, and there's going to be some really cool things going on at the club fair. We got some really neat stickers today, so that's exciting. And then I also have a job posted for the club's office, so we're still looking to hire a club connector. And if you're interested in that position or have questions about that, feel free to come and find me and ask. And yep, that's it for now. I yield my time.
Sweet, thanks, Bailey. And now we're to our VP of Academic Affairs, Claire Ann Greppo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out today. So, as always, the Office of Academic Affairs is always constantly looking for senators to fulfill the Student Academic Senate. So if you're interested in applying, you can check out an online application, or you can print it out and hand it to me in person. There's also talks about the new CAW Dean search, and I have been elected to represent the student voice for the College of Arts and Humanities Dean search, which is pretty exciting. I'll be going to Faculty Senate on Wednesday to talk more about what we as ASCWU are working on, and also touch on how we can connect student senators and faculty senators and deans so that we can have more collaboration between those two groups. And I'm still hiring an executive assistant, so that application is closing soon, so let your friends know. Apply ASAP. Tuesday, it's going to be closing. And yeah, the first SAS meeting was last Tuesday, and it was pretty awesome. We had a presentation about the new funding model, and we're going to be talking more about that as the weeks progress. So with that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Claire. And now for our Vice President of Equity and Community Affairs, Maurice Watkins.
Good afternoon, Wildcats. So I'm the Vice President for Equity and Community Affairs, meaning I oversee 8 ESC organizations here on campus. So with that, I will be hosting and conducting a training, which is actually tomorrow. So October 2nd in Circ 135. I'm starting at 6 o'clock p.m. I do believe it's from 6 o'clock to 8. And required attendance includes the organization's presidents, Equity and Service Council representatives, as well as your advisors. So if I'm speaking to any ESC peeps or any peeps who may be part of ESC organizations, if your organization has not been made aware yet, please make sure to pass the word out by then, because training is tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m., Circ 135. In addition, every meeting following will be held on Wednesdays. So tomorrow, due to specific circumstances, it's going to be held on a Tuesday. So following, every meeting after that will be held Wednesday from 3 to 5 in Circ 301. So ESC meetings after tomorrow will be held every Wednesday in Circ 301. And then just another really quick reminder, my office is hiring for 2 positions. I am currently looking for a community assistant as well as a community programmer. So if any of you out here may be interested and or have some experience in taking notes or programming events or things like that, or you just would like a wonderful opportunity, you have until tomorrow night to apply. So if that interests you, please apply. And with that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Maurice. And now for our Vice President of Student Life and Facilities, Jocelyn Matheny.
All right. So a little update on the Student Union Advisory Board. We met this past week, and last week at our public meeting, we voted to support the Diversity and Equity Center moving over to Black Hall. So with that move happening later this month or in November, there will be an empty office space in the Circ. So the Student Union Advisory Board talked about and voted on what to do with that space. So there's going to be some offices moving and shifting, and we'll have more information for you on that when the moves start happening. The Recreation Advisory Board is still getting its wheels under it and getting geared up. We hope to have a meeting later this week. But with that said, we still have a spot or two, so apply if you're really interested in recreation. Another thing that I've been thinking about lately is ice rinks. So I met with Tony Burvey, who works on a lot of business affairs and insurance stuff for the university, to talk about what some options are. So I don't know that we're going to have an ice rink on campus, but we're working towards it, or maybe busing students out to go skating this winter. I also met with the director of the Publicity Center last week to talk about the video projects that ASCWU wants to work on this year, and those are going to be really good, so I can't wait for them to come out. I went to RHA, and it was their second info session, and it was really great. We had hot chocolate, but I'll let Martin tell you more later. And I am touring Dugmore Hall this coming Friday, so I should have more exciting things to tell you about it next Monday. And I just wanted to give a shout out to alumni and the Alumni Association, because Edith and I got to have dinner with some of them on Friday night at the brand new field before the opening of it at the football game. And there's some pretty incredible people. And who was at the football game? Nobody? Nobody? Oh yeah, you were there. Who saw the fireworks? It was a good time. It was lit. Okay. With that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And since Leah is not here at the moment, we'll wait for her report on Monday when she gets back from Germany. Fun fact. All right. And then for my report, just very quickly, so I am the student representative on the Dean of Student Success search. And so the good thing with that is that we're leaning into Skype interviews. So that means we're getting closer and narrowing down who will be coming to campus. And hopefully I'll get the word out and make sure that as many students as possible pack out that room, because this dean has a lot of effect on our lives as students. So that'll be really exciting, and I'll give you more updates with that. I met with President Gaudino one-on-one last Friday, and that was really exciting. One of our big focuses for our meetings is always me being able to voice what all of the other VPs are doing, as well as what student government, the students, and all of the fun stuff. Two of the big topics that we talked about, these are student-brought topics, and one of them was the Veterans Memorial. Basically what we got from that is that that is not impossible, and if the students want it and we can come up with the design and everything, then we will definitely go for it. But what we need is that student feedback. Do you want it? Do you not want it? And so it's all of that. And the second one is, which is kind of funny, we had students reach out about wanting jacuzzis on campus, because yeah, we know college is pretty stressful, and so having a hot tub to go to right after class would probably sound really great. So if students want jacuzzis, let's do jacuzzis. But if you don't want jacuzzis, well, fun idea. And one fun other one that got brought up to our attention today was students that are upperclassmen tend to feel that there needs to be more microwaves in the circ or around campus. So if you feel that we need more microwaves, let us know. Let's make it happen. So we need that student input. Your voice matters. You want to see something, we'll make it happen. Just let us know. And with that, of course, who went to the first home game last week, right? Saturday? It was really great. Yeah, fireworks, let me tell you. I had the really great honor of cutting the ribbon and starting the ceremony, so that was really exciting. And it was an amazing turnout, and I can't wait for our next home game. That's really great. And so, yeah, October 13th, next week. Oh, homecoming weekend is next week. Wow. All right, we're already there. Woo. Okay, with that, I'll yield my time. And then we'll go into our next step of the agenda, and that is club recognition.
So at this time, we'd like to welcome up any clubs who are here to get recognized. Going once, going twice. We're coming. Good. Sweet. So just state your club's name and what your club does. Also, your name would be great.
Yeah, hi. I'm Hope Nightingale, and I'm representing Central Dungeons & Dragons Club. And our purpose is to bring together a lot of students from different backgrounds and all sorts in a diverse crowd to come together and do something creative and have fun together as a large student body. In fact, our last meeting had 143 members, so yeah. That's us.
Thank you. Is there any other clubs here who are here to get recognized? I'd also like to recognize Ashlyn from the Investment Club. She came to me here before class and was going to be late to class to get recognized, and so I told her to go to class, but they did come here to get recognized. Last call for any clubs? Sweet. Wait, does anyone have anyone? No? I'd like to move to approve the clubs I'd like to move to improve Investment Club and D&D Club.
Second.
Any discussions? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? You've all been recognized groups. Clubs. Come on, Edith. And now for the next portion of our agenda, we'll go on to our committee reports. And with us, we have Martin from RHA.
Hello, everybody. I'm Martin. I'm the president of RHA, the Residence Hall Association. We had a great turnout at our second information meeting, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you at our first general body meeting, which is happening this Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the Wellington Event Center. Other things to look out for, make sure you show up for the Central Talent Show, which is happening on October 9th at 8 p.m., I'm 80% sure about that, up in the Cirque Ballroom. And it's going to be a great time. We have a lot of great talented students coming out from the residence halls to show us what they got. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you, Martin. And then now into our next portion, committee appointments.
Hello, everyone. So I have a couple of students, which is very exciting. The list is very long and the amount of students that we're having on committees, and that makes me super excited. So I'm just going to go through this really quick. All of these students have applied within the past week and have submitted their intent and talked to me. So I have Brian Kimmerling for the Student Tech Fee Council, Crystal Ash for Student Tech Fee Council, Arbor Demiri for Rec Advisory Board and Student Conduct Council, Fidel Bazan for Student Union Advisory Board, Edgar Carreño for S&A Committee, Student Union Advisory, and the Wildcat Shop Advisory Board, Jed Flippin for Student Union Advisory Board, Brenda Avalos Torres for Student Tech Fee Council, Alex Harrington for Student Conduct Council and S&A, Dane Gillen for S&A and the Elections Commission, potentially pending Jeff's input. Can we do that for Election Commission? Okay, just making sure. Kimberly Wiles for Library Advisory Council and Cruz Juarez for S&A. So with that, I would like to move to appoint these students to their respective committees.
Second.
Any discussions? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? They've all been appointed to those committees. How exciting. That's tons of names. Yeah. Just yeah. All right. And now on to our staff's appointments.
All right, if you're here to get appointed, please come forward and state your department you're representing and why you want to be part of the Student Academic Senate.
It feels weird having my back to you. Thanks, you guys can check it out while I'm doing this. Hi, everyone. I'm with the Craft Brew program. We have not had, I think, any representation ever. We're pretty new and up and coming, and there are a lot of really cool conferences that we have the opportunity to go to, but it's difficult to afford such conferences, and because not for recreational alcohol use, but because there is sensory evaluation, sometimes it's unsafe to go to them if we cannot afford hotels. And so we're hoping to, by having me as a senator, be able to expand our opportunities in conferences such as the Master Brewers Conference, which has previously gotten most of our students really good jobs before they even graduate. So that's kind of our goal of being part of the Academic Senate, is to create more opportunities. I'm Darby. Is that it? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darby. Is there anyone else? Going once, going twice? All right. I would like to move to approve this position for the Craft Beer and Wine Studies Senator.
Seconded.
Any discussions? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Sweet. You've been approved, Darby. All right. And now on to our new business, 10.1, approval of the Housing and Dining Committee.
Yes. So as I mentioned last week, which I can actually read it from the Constitution, but in past years there was a Dining Advisory Board Committee, but now Housing and Dining want to kind of team up, and both the directors want to meet directly with students to get feedback. So the officers all have a copy of this Constitution, and there are extra copies in case anyone wants it. But I'll read. The purpose of the Housing and Dining Advisory Board is to provide an opportunity for the campus community to give feedback and input on housing and dining services regarding changes to products, policies, and services that will benefit the students and the general university community, and have an opportunity to review and give feedback on monthly and annual financial statements. So this is kind of a big deal. If you're an on-campus student or an off-campus student, we want to know what you think about what's happening in the res halls, and of course what's happening here in the dining halls and with your food. So if you are interested, please apply. We still have lots of open spots on this committee, and this is just the paperwork to help us get things done. So I would move to approve the new Housing and Dining Advisory Board Constitution.
Second. Oh, Maurice got it.
Any further discussion? Questions? All right. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Well, the Housing and Dining Committee has been approved. And now under new business 10.2, this is for clubs now. It's repealing Article 8, subsection 3, and Article, is that 9? 9 and Article 10, Section 2 of the ASCWU Club Constitution.
Hi, everyone. I know that all sounds like a bunch of gibberish, but in a summary of what that is going to do, if we are able to repeal these parts of the Constitution, it'll allow us to implement the new funding model into our Constitution and take a deeper look into our Constitution. I'm meeting with a Constitution task force this weekend to look at the Constitution to make sure it's up to date. And as the Constitution is right now, it states that we can't make any changes to the Constitution. And so we need to make changes. So this is going to allow us to do so. So I would like to move to repeal Article 8, subsection 3, Article 9, and Article 10, section 2.
Second.
Any further discussion or comments?
This is a good thing because that Constitution needs to be sincerely revamped. So I think that that's very much so why we should support this.
And just to further add, this is going to make club funding, ASCWU funding allocations a lot easier for students to make those trips and those, conferences more accessible to students instead of having to go through the reimbursement process. So this is a really great start. We're super excited for what this can do. So, yeah. All right. With that, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? That really long list has been repealed. All right. And on to issues, concerns, or announcements.
Yes, I'd like to make an announcement. There's one thing that I missed under my section 5.3, and that was the education department discussion. So if some of y'all aren't aware, there are students that go through the teacher certificate program. And with that program, there comes like an internship type side of it. And usually that's typically done the fall after students graduate. But because of that, that class falls under the next academic year, preventing students from walking with their class. So that's a topic that I've been working a lot with, kind of reaching out to the provost. I've mentioned it to the faculty senate chair, and I believe Edith has mentioned it to the president. So it's something that's definitely on the minds of faculty and something that's going to possibly, pursue more, and hopefully we see more progress within the next few weeks. With that, I yield my time.
Thanks, Claire. Any more issues, concerns, or announcements?
I also forgot to add during my little officer report time, I am having a Constitution task force this upcoming Saturday. We're going to meet at 9 a.m. I'm going to bring donuts or something fun, and we're just going to go through the Constitution and look at what we can do to make it better. So if you'd like to join me, I would appreciate it. It is going to be in the student government office. Thanks, Jeff.
Next week is homecoming week. It's a big deal. It's going to be tons of fun. Jeffrey's going to say a thing about it. He's going to make me say the thing about it. Oh, I'm going to read the schedule. I was going to tell them that they can find the schedule online, and make sure that you are either following CW Hype or have the CW Connect app, but I also will read you the schedule. So on Monday, October 8th, we have a door decoration and banner contest. Well, it starts on Monday, but it's happening all week. So decorate your doors. Also on Monday is the 9th annual Latinx Welcome in the Cirque Ballroom from 4 to 6. And for Monday Movie Madness, we are playing Jurassic World in the theater at 7 and 9:30. And Jeffrey's a dinosaur. On Tuesday, October 9th, is Central's Talent Showcase, which Martin told us about. It's run by RHA. So there will be students that live in the res halls performing for everyone. That'll be great. On Wednesday, we have the Club Fair and Wellington's Wildfire out at the Challenge Course. So the Club Fair is 12 to 3 out here on the patio, and the Wildfire is 6 to 9 p.m. at the Challenge Course. And there's free food. On Thursday, October 11th, we have the Homecoming Extravaganza, which will celebrate lots of things. It's 4:30 to 10 p.m. on the Bardo lawn. So that's going to be the big thing. And then Friday is our headliner, Cristela Alonso, who is a stand-up comedian, will be performing in the ballroom at 8 p.m. You have to buy tickets for that in advance, so look online. They're great. $15 to see the comedian. And Saturday is the football game and the brunch 5K run and a women's soccer game. There's so many things. It just goes on and on. So yes, I read it. It's great. There's a lot of things. Make sure you're following CW Hype so you don't miss out. Thank you. And download the Traditions Keeper app so you can check off the traditions as the week goes along. Yeah. And if you need to take a selfie with a student government officer, we're available after this meeting. Thank you.
All right, and on to public comments. Do we have any public comments? Yes. Come to the mic and tell us your comment.
Yes.
I'm just going to, Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read off this paper just because, yeah. Okay, so I'm Cassie Hill. I am currently a senior double majoring in middle school mathematics education and elementary education. I've been working with Claire Ann regarding the ability for fellow students like me to walk in with our graduating class. Like Claire mentioned earlier, if we're student teaching in fall, we're not allowed to walk with those who we have worked with for so many years because of conditions outside of our control. If we could student teach in summer, we definitely would, but we can't. So I'm pretty much here to ask you guys as a team, what can you individually combine to create a new policy, or how can you support us as students who are struggling with this? Because right now we feel that we're denied our right to walk, or our rite of passage, this milestone in our life, and it's kind of a betrayal of the university. So we're wondering, as our voice, what will you guys individually be able to support and do for all of us?
First of all, thank you for coming to our meeting and thank you for coming up and expressing your concern. I have the same concern myself, and this has kind of been a hot topic on our board right now. So I'm thinking that it would probably be a good time for our board to get together and talk to see what we can do kind of as a united front to bring this up with our provost and our higher staff at the university, because we do understand that you could graduate with the class if you could student teach in the summer. Unfortunately, our public school systems do not have school in the summer that we could student teach at. So we are going to do our best to try to support that.
Yeah, just to echo that too, in my conversation with President Gaudino, he basically said just because a policy has always been a certain way doesn't mean it doesn't have to stay that way forever. So that to me was like, go for it. If you all are like fully just supportive of this and want to see this change, it's possible. So I think just what Bailey said, we do need to get together and echo the voice of the students.
I would also like to say that I've seen this experience. I've had multiple friends in the education department that have struggled with the same thing. My best friend Caroline switched up her entire academic plan so she could walk in the spring, and therefore I had to student teach in the spring quarter before her graduation, and then she had to figure out housing and move to a different place for a couple months, and it was just so stressful for her. So I, of course, will do everything in my power and my position to support you all in this, and I think this is something that we really need to touch base on with the education department and the policies at the university. So you definitely have my individual support wherever I can help.
Thank you so much. Are there any further public comments?
I think this is really great timing. Is it Casey or Cassie? Cassie, really great timing that you were up here today. Thank you. Because as an institution of higher education here in the state of Washington, Central Washington University is accredited by a regional accrediting body called the Northwest Creditors of College and Universities. And we're in our 7-year review this year. And in fact, the accreditation team will be on campus in a couple of weeks, October 22nd through the 24th. And it's a very exciting opportunity because we get to check ourselves, we get to take stock of the promises that we make to students and ensure that we are actually following through with those promises. So I love that the president's perspective is that a policy doesn't have to stay the same. And I encourage students to be part of the accreditation process because your voice is the most important. And you can do that. You can sit in the room with the accreditors and get a free lunch and have your voices heard on October 22nd from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. in 137 A and B in the Student Union and Recreation Center. And I invite you to grab your friends and hope that your schedules can allow you to do that, because exactly what you're doing right now here in public comments is what all students can do on October 22nd during that student forum from 12 to 1 p.m. And you get free pizza, which is great as well. And of course, that's the best part. But even more important is an opportunity for your voices to continue to be heard during this accreditation process. So very timely, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to mention that. And please remember, free pizza, October 22nd from noon to 1 in Circ 137 A and B for a student accreditation open forum. Michael. Huh? Oh, yeah, and to add, there are no staff or faculty in the room. You are in the room with the accreditors only, so you don't have to worry about a staff member or a faculty member being there and you wanting to tamp down what you want to say. We want you to be honest with the accreditors about your experience as a Wildcat, and I think the truest way to do that is to make sure that we're not in the room. So thanks, Michael, for adding that.
Wow, sweet. Thanks, Jeff. And with that, any further public comments? All right, well, our next, Darby, whew, you saved it. Okay, go for it.
Okay, well, I've never been to one of these meetings before, so, I don't know how it works, but I have been trying to figure something out for a while, and I didn't know who to come to, but now it sounds like This might be something I can talk to you guys about, and it might be something that everyone here is very interested about. I work with the Accessibility Office, and we create accessible formats for students with disabilities. And by doing that, we actually hire on blind students from this university to help us make sure that we are creating accessible formats. And so we have like a really open communication with them. And our current central website is completely inaccessible for blind students. And I don't know if that's ever been brought up here before, but it has been brought up to from our department to other faculty, and we have not received anything from it. So maybe having enough students that understand how unfair that is and how it actually is illegal can help create something better. And like if there's like a way to make some sort of committee or task force or something, I'd totally be willing to help with that. But I think it's extremely important. New York University actually he left our what is he called? Our director of accessibility left here and went to New York University, and he pointed out to them that their internet system, whatever, was completely inaccessible, and they didn't do anything about it, and they were sued millions of dollars recently for it. So it's important that we get that fixed, because not only is it bad looking for our university, but it's so unfair to our blind students. They should be able to have the same opportunities as us. So is that something I bring here?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Darby. Wow. Okay.
That was powerful. Thank you.
Everybody writing this down? Any other further public comment issues? Anything that you see?
Yes, FAFSA is open today, and if anyone has any questions or wondering about how do I fill this out, there's actually an event going on in Circ 137A called Paying It Forward. There's going to be some snacks there, and you can also sit down and just figure out some stuff. We're going to have someone from FAFSA talking, so make sure you guys come check it out. It's going to be at 3 o'clock today in Circ 137A.
Any other further public comment? Sweet. Well, our next meeting is next Monday, October 8th. And if you didn't know, if you missed this meeting or you know a friend that missed this meeting, we are streaming live thanks to 88.1 The Berg. So check out, follow them on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, and all the fun jazz. So with that, we'll adjourn this meeting. Oh, do you have to do like a motion? Yeah, we'll motion. Okay.
Move to adjourn this meeting at 2:39 p.m.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? This meeting has been adjourned.